Hello again. Thanks for watching. Hope I'm still not boring, so this is the fourth part of my martial talks. I promised I would say a little more on that map thing. Well, any warrior should know his turf. The military knows their territory, the police know their territory, even gang members know their territory. So why would a law-abiding citizen be less competent if he wants to be a martial artist and if he wants to protect himself or his family? If one of your buddies is down or yourself are down and you are able to phone for help, you also want to be able to describe where you are. So, purchase a good map of your city and just learn how to navigate your city like a taxi driver would. If you have the opportunity, get your taxi license because they normally get good training. But if you have a professional life, that may consume too much time. But in your free time, walk your city, bicycle your city with your plan. So that finally, you really get to know your city. If it is a big city like New York City or whatever, that is obviously not possible, but you should know your way around and you should know where you are. So when you go to a place that you don't know beforehand, make sure you first of all read the maps. That sounds silly, but since you never know when the crap hits the fan, it is always good advice to know about the turf you are visiting before you go there. And the way the military does that is by obtaining maps. Nowadays you can purchase maps of practically anywhere. As long as it is for your own hometown, as I said, you need to know where certain places are. The police stations, you want to know where they are. You want to know where the hospitals are. You certainly want to know where cab stands or taxi stands are. You also want to know where pharmacies are where you can purchase medicine. Perhaps you also want to stay up to date on their service schedule because not in every country they have open all the time. Some countries only a few have open overnight or whatever. You want to know where certain doctors are. And you want to know where danger places are. Means you should also read the local newspaper, specifically the crime reports. So you know where the dangerous spots are and to either not go there or go there when you are prepared or have some buddies around. I mean, practice hard, stay close to your friends, stay safe is always good advice, especially if you go into a danger zone. And a danger zone is just a zone where you may expect more trouble than elsewhere. So, when I go to a certain street in Salzburg, where many pubs are and many drunken youths are around, I do know that trouble is more likely to come than when I go to the opera with my wife. The other thing is you should know about safe havens. Let us say you downed a thug who attacked you, and then the good advice if you are alone is run. Question is, to where do you run? Obviously out of sight and hopefully to a place where an attack is less likely to occur. So you should know the streets and the places to wear around. And even if that is not necessary for you, if you have a school child, you want to train that child to places to go in any case of doubt. If the child feels threatened, your child should know where to run, no matter where the child is in the city. And the child should know what to do there, namely take out the mobile phone and either call you or the cops. All these things need training. I know that sounds a little paranoid, but believe me, my father has been a medical doctor, and since he was night blind, I had to drive him when he was paying house calls at night, as soon as I had a driving license. And I did see a lot of things going wrong only because people were not trained. In fact, I have seen 2 people die, needlessly, who could still live to see this day. Had the people around them known what they are doing. And when I was younger, we trained a lot in the same gym where the cops were training. They told me stories about children who went missing and died as well. only because they were not trained in what to do. And believe me, any child who is old enough to play cowboy and Indian, or Tarzan, or knights, is old enough to understand the necessity of hiding from dangerous men and calling for help. They show this in the movies. Children play this along anyway. So if you have a child, train it like that. If you never ever need it, your child will be thankful for the time you had with it, because for the child it is also a great play. It is hide and seek on a higher level. It is joyful time with your child. And maybe it will one day save your child's life. So, even on the danger of sounding paranoid and overly militaristic, knowing how to read and use a map, knowing the important places is really, really, really important. If you really take self-defense serious. So, that being said, I want to drop the last bollocks again. I want to address the last subject, which art to choose. As I said in the first video, as I said, you should choose an art that you like to practice, something that gives you joy, that is fun to practice for you, and something of which you think you can still practice it when you are old. So, something that allows you good self-defense, something that is fun to practice, and something that you can practice when you are old. So, my personal choice is Chinese inner martial arts, because I know I can no longer fight the way with jiu-jitsu or kung fu. I used to. When I was 18, 20, I could do all sorts of things that I can no longer do now. So had I only relied on these sorts of skills, that would be no good for me. Now, I have practiced Tai Chi for a long time now, and I am able to use some of it. And guess what? I'm still able to hold my grounds, and actually much better so than I was when I was a younger guy. And that is not due to the skills in Jiu-Jitsu or in Taekwondo or in Hung Kuen. And don't get me wrong, those are great arts. I have learned a lot of them. I respect them greatly. Only thing I say is, I do know that my health does not allow me to practice those arts to the full extent even now, and I'm just mid-40, and I will not be able to practice these arts when I'm old. Whereas I'm certainly able to practice Baguazhang, Xingyi, Yiquan, Tai Chi, or Wing Chun. Also, please get me right. If it is your art, you may practice kickboxing to old age. That's not the point. But you must choose something that you can imagine for yourself. So, and then in the dealing with violence, 2 practical hints. 1, a repetition. Have your mobile phone at the ready. Have your lawyer's number in it. Have an emergency number in it. Have another cop's number in it. Have ambulance service numbers in it. If you get to know a cop by person, have his number in it. And then, my self-defense tool number 1 against muggers. You know what this is? No, it's not my wallet. It's a fake wallet. It has some plastic cards in it, and it has 2 20-euro bills in it. So if I'm mugged, I give this to the mugger. He has a wallet, he has some money, may he be happy with it. I survived the encounter, hopefully. It gives at least higher chances. So, a fake wallet, that is a prime survival tool. Highly recommendable. You don't have to give your real wallet, and you don't have to encounter violence. 9 minutes 46 seconds. So thanks for watching, stay safe, practice diligent, be blessed.